So when I was pregnant with my second child, we had a little bit of a scare, and I thought, I prayed that if everything went all right, I swore that I would go and work for some group that had something to do with children. 2 years later, I was offered a job here, and I often think that I don't know exactly what got me here, but I always think it was heaven sent. And I think it's not just because of the work we do, which is I think wonderful work. There are very few groups that can say that they're not beholden to anyone but children. And I'm very proud to be part of a team that works so hard for all children in our state. When I think about my experience, one of the things that I am most proud to have been part of the ACNJ team is when Seal orally argued before the Supreme Court on the preschool piece of the Abbott versus Burke decision. This case has been called the most important education case, second only to Brown versus the Board of Education, and to have played some role in supporting what we know is best for children, mainly that children should have the opportunity to have access to high-quality preschool.
Well, I think that we're very fortunate to have a leader like Seal for an organization like ours. She is a person that amazes me, that has the capacity to process different views and to process information and then succinctly put it in such a way where everyone can come to a consensus and actually be able to move forward on issues regarding children. And I find that she seems to be like such a good mediator, and that's really something positive for the children of New Jersey.
Seal is like a daughter. She is one of the most dedicated people that I've known for a very long time. It reflects not only in the work that she does, but with the marvelous staff that she has. Everyone here is committed to doing the very best for children. Seal has been outstanding not only in New Jersey, but throughout the country.
It's been great being part of the ACNJ team for the past 20 years. And the head of our team is Seal, who for the past 30 years has been involved in every piece of child welfare legislation passed in New Jersey, advocating to make sure that children living in foster care have permanent homes. In more recent years, she has advocated for quality preschool, understanding that early intervention for children helps make sure that they're reading by 3rd grade, which is critical for their success as an adult. She has advocated for hundreds of thousands of children in the state of New Jersey. She's a true champion for kids.
My interest is early childhood education, and when I first came to New Jersey, I thought I had fallen into a black hole. I could not find an agency, a group that was promoting high quality early childhood education until I was invited to a meeting by Seal around the Abbott preschool programs. And ACNJ has been a professional lifeline for me. It has been the place where I can go. I know people are well prepared, they're focused, the conversations at the board meetings are always high quality. There's follow through and things get done. I have been absolutely and always impressed with the ability of ACNJ, with Seal's leadership, to make sure that we move ahead consistently and with quality on issues of early childhood education and certainly all issues that involve children.
I remember one time, this is very early in my tenure at the ACNJ, when there was a horrific child death in Newark. And we were discussing what our public response should be toward it. And Seal asked me whether I thought we should ask the governor to take responsibility for the state agency's actions on this, and I did. But it was a tough call to make, and Seal made that call. And when the governor's office called to yell at someone, she took the heat. And it was a lot of heat. But we got their attention. And out of that rose reforms that are changing the lives, are helping children across the state every single day today. And part of that was because she had the guts to take a stance like that on such an important issue that deals with these children's safety.
It's an honor and a privilege to work at ACNJ. I think one of the most special things about working at ACNJ is that it's really become a family for all of us. It's a place where you can feel great to come to work every day, knowing that you're working with people who care about you, but also knowing that you're working on issues that are really important to the children in our state, and that we work every day to truly make a difference in their lives.
Seal is a great executive director and leader in general. Seal is always passionate for the mission and the cause of helping children throughout New Jersey, and she's always transparent and engaging and gets everyone involved in working as a team. She is inspirational on so many different levels.
She is, in my opinion, the ideal leader, especially of an organization like this. She can't fake it, and she doesn't fake it. I think she lives this job 24/7, but you would have to ask her about that. At least that's the impression I have of her. And I admire her. I certainly respect her, and I think the staff does a wonderful job under her leadership. There are many people in many organizations that claim to be advocates. I think, from my experience, the SEAL and her staff prove every day, whether they're planning an activity or actually performing a function, that they are true advocates for children. And I think it calls to mind the following. They remind me of a saying, one of the many that Mahatma Gandhi made, and that was, "Judge me by what I do and not by what I say." And it's clear in my mind that the entire organization for the children of New Jersey are truly advocates, and it's a pleasure to work with them.
This year's nominee for Bridge Hope Community Development Corporation is Nardia Morgan. Nardia Morgan has been actively volunteering at Bridge Hope CDC for over a year and a half and spends many days at the office, even with her toddler son occasionally joining her. Nardia makes sure that the office and all programs operates efficiently. She is the first point of contact at Bridge Hope and makes everyone feel welcome and important. She has managed to implement best practices to the organization and has gathered many enthusiastic volunteers to join her for various tasks in the organization. It is because of Nardia's character, personality, and amazing work ethic that she is awarded the Extra Mile Award from Bridge Hope CDC. Nardia is married with 2 sons and spends her spare time as the director of the Youth Link program, a member of her church praise team, board member at Bridge Hope Community Church, and a constant encourager and mentor to those around her. This year's Extra Mile Award from Catholic Family and Community Center goes to Mr. Carlos Rodon. Mr. Carlos came to the United States in 1986 from Colombia at the age of 18 without any knowledge of English. He always wanted to help others and enrolled at Passaic County Community College, where he graduated from the ESL program. He learned about the FECC and inquired about open positions. In 1993, he advanced to the position of Food Pantry Director, where on average 70 clients were served monthly. Currently, 5,400 clients are served. The Food Pantry is well known to have a People's Choice Food Pantry. Mr. Roldan is known for his continued outreach to churches, organizations, and groups looking for donation and support for the food pantry on weekends, night, and on his personal time. Mr. Roldan, during his 20 years of dedication to helping others, worked at Youth at-Risk Children for 7 years in a group home environment, 8 years as an ESL instructor, and 2 years working with disabled children within the agency. Mr. Carlos Roldan is part of the St. Stephen Parish in Kearney. He is a family man of 2 young teenage boys that he encourages to help others. He is an animal lover and recently adopted 2 dogs named Kiko and Kayla. He continues to help others on a monthly basis by hosting an affordable flea market at FECC that not only helps his program with funds, but also those on a fixed income to shop for household items, clothes, toys, and much more. On his off time, which is limited due to all his outreach projects, he enjoys traveling to his native country, Colombia, and helps children who are less fortunate. We congratulate you, Mr. Carlos Rodon. This year's Extra Mile Award for Commack goes to Hope and Dave Dingley. Hope and Dave have been volunteering at Commack every Wednesday for the past few years, sorting and bagging donated produce for the families and individuals who use the pantry. This produce is often Commack's clients' only source of healthy food. Recognizing how critical the bags they make are for those who receive them, Hope and Dave always go the extra mile to make sure the highest quality of goods are included. They carefully examine donations, throwing out what's past its prime and repackaging usable items. They are conscientious about packing a variety of items so that Commack's clients can make well-rounded meals. You can always tell when this dynamic duo is on site. Their kindness and their cheerful attitudes are infectious and bring everybody up. Truly, they go the extra mile, and we are incredibly lucky to have their help in Commack's mission. Dave and Hope have a big heart for helping others, and it shows in everything they do. For years, they have played a huge role in collecting food and trucking it to Commack. They are regulars at Commack's events and have been an enormous boon to Commack's efforts to keep up with the record need. They have been involved in every effort to provide emergency shelter to the homeless through the group of Interfaith Hospitality Network. They were also leaders in a campaign to bring affordable housing to prohibitively expensive neighborhoods. Hope and Dave are active members of their church, Ridgewood United Methodist, and spend their summers visiting loved ones in England and France as often as they can. We congratulate you, Hope and Dave. This year's Extra Mile Award from Evas Village goes to Mike Santillo. Mike Santillo joined Evas Village in 1996 when the organization was expanding its mission and location at its Main Street headquarters. As Administrative Director of Clinical Services, Mike balances the regulation and licensing requirements with the clinical and human services needs of more than each day to ensure that the clinical needs of 350 men and women in residential and outpatient treatment at Evas Village. Always on the forefront of addiction treatment practices, Mike currently serves as the president of Halfway House Association. He has spearheaded many of Evas' expansions, including bringing on board the first peer-driven recovery center in New Jersey at Evas Spring Street location. Due to Mike's vision, Evas Village was posed to address the needs of addicted mothers in 2007 when the Hope residence opened its doors for mothers and children. Most recently, Evas Village received its license to provide mental health services due to the extra mile work of Mike Santillo. Often chided by coworkers as the hardest working person in social services, Mike can be found spending time with his family, luring in the big fish on quiet waters, or making his own music, building acoustic guitars. Congratulations, Mike Santillo. This year's Extra Mile Award for the Girl Scouts of Northern New Jersey goes to Adrienne Fulcher. Adrienne has been a volunteer for Girl Scout of Northern New Jersey for several years. She has been a troop leader for a Girl Scout troop of more than 20 girls. She guides them through earning numerous badges and journey book activities. She loves to share her passion for Girl Scouting with all the girls in the community. She also volunteers as the service unit manager for the city of Patterson, where she oversees all of the Girl Scout troops and activities in the community. This volunteer position is a tremendous responsibility and requires many hours of service. For many years, Patterson did not have a service unit manager. When Adrienne came on board, she brought all the leaders together to now organize citywide events. She inspires both girls and leaders to live by the Girl Scout promise and law. She also opens up many opportunities to the girls and leaders for them to participate in Girl Scout experience. She goes the extra mile to make sure both girls and adults have the opportunity to experience all great activities that are afforded through the Girl Scouting and to help build the next generation of women leaders. We congratulate you, Adrienne. This year's Extra Mile Award for the Greater Bergen Cap Patterson Head Start goes to Cecilia Zalkind. When Greater Bergen came to Patterson in 2013, Cecilia impressed Greater Bergen from the very beginning. She is and was a team player. She welcomed the organization when others were unsure and rallied the existing employees around to support Greater Bergen. She embraced her new job duties with enthusiasm and has made her building a shining jewel. Cecilia has every quality that could be asked for in an educator, mentor, and member of the team. The staff look up to her with respect, and she has earned through the years of dedicated service to Head Start. She is a loving mother and a loyal friend to anyone lucky enough to have the honor. Greater Bergen County immediately thought of nominating Cecilia. and every day she goes the extra mile to ensure that Head Start in Patterson gives the brightest start in life to the most precious commodity, our children. Cecilia's hobbies include Zumba, taking pictures, art, dancing, and traveling. Congratulations, Cecilia. This year's Extra Mile Award nominee for the Halls That Inspire is David Thompson. David Thompson's passion for the arts, his community, and the youth led him to create an organization that uses art to encourage, uplift, and inspire. He brought this organization to the schools of Patterson, creating message-based murals within the halls of the Patterson School District. As a nod to his alma mater, Eastside High School became one of the most model schools where he designed over 18 murals throughout the school's academies. He works tirelessly on each mural with the students, putting in over 80 hours per week. Additionally, he's mentored over 1,000 students and AmeriCorps workers, awarding them over 4,000 hours of community service, along with citations from the State Assembly, City Council, and Passaic County freeholders. His connection with the youth has been recognized by educators, administrators, and political figures throughout the city. His dedication to his craft, the participants, and community is his greatest accomplishment to date. David is an avid sports fanatic and was very athletic in his early days. He loves the outdoors and his time creating and designing murals, classic R&B music, and a good Western movie. He has donated 90% of the mural work to his alma mater, Eastside High School, and he's also donated to each school in which the program has been administered.
It is with great pleasure that the John P. Holland Charter School proudly named Mrs. Kimberly Mosby as the recipient of the 2014 Extra Mile Award. It has been said that a school secretary is the backbone of a school, and Mrs. Mosby is certainly no exception to the proverbial adage. Her devotion to daily success of the schools transcends that of her duties and speaks volumes to the care and concern she affords all members of the school community, in particular the students. Her professional precision has placed a stamp on the school's culture and makes it incredibly difficult to overlook her outstanding impact on all day-to-day functions. Due to unparalleled organization, Mrs. Mosby is able to deliver quick solutions to students, parents, teachers, and administration seeking assistance in any capacity. As a gatekeeper to the school, Mrs. Mosby is responsible for disseminating accurate information to all stakeholders effectively and expeditiously. She maintains precise records to ensure student safety, approaches event planning with tremendous creativity and initiative, and affords all our teachers many kindnesses to lighten up their workloads each day. For these and many more reasons, we proudly salute Mrs. Mosby with this award, along with a heartfelt thank you.
This year's New Destiny Family Success Center nominee is Marley Estrella. New Destiny Family Success Center nominee Marley Estrella goes an extra mile to meet the satisfaction of the clients. Marley has always been reliable, and it is in her best interest that she helps others without asking for anything in return. Marley always has a positive attitude and a caring nature which allows her to touch people's heart. She is very knowledgeable about the community and its resources. She has also participated in various events. She is part of New Destiny's Family Success Center's Parent Advisory Board, where she encourages new members to join the board. Even while pregnant, Marley has heavily participated in New Destiny's events. This clearly demonstrates her overall consistency and dedication as a volunteer. Her hobbies include going to the beach, reading to her children. She also loves to go out on Sundays with her family to the park or out to eat. She has volunteered on numerous occasions at her children's school, and she just generally loves to help people. We congratulate Marley Estrella for this year's Extra Mile Award. This year's nominee for New Jersey Community Development Corporation goes to Liddy Reyes.
Lady Reyes is a family worker at NJCDC's Patterson Family Center, a preschool for 105 3- and 4-year-olds. The individual who nominated Letty for this recognition stated, "I had always heard great things about this person, and upon having the great pleasure to make her acquaintance, it is obvious why people spoke so glowingly of her. She is a grounded person with her ear to the community, willing to advocate for those who she serves, and is the kind person who will give you the shirt off her back and the last bit of food on her plate." Witnessing her interactions with the community and their families is something almost reminiscent of Mother Teresa. She exudes passion and a love for what she does, and truly believes in the cause of serving preschool families and everything else NJCDC does. She is undoubtedly one of the most pleasant people I am fortunate to know. Because of her regular displays of random acts of kindness, her dedication to the advancement of our community, and her stellar attitude, it is our sincere honor and pleasure to call Letty Reyes 2014 nominee for the Extra Mile Award. This year's Extra Mile Award for the Northeast New Jersey Legal Services goes to Mina Ra. Mina Ra began her career at Northeast New Jersey Legal Services in 2006 in the housing unit of the Bergen County Division Office in Hackensack. Over the years, Mina has provided counsel and representation to thousands of county residents who are facing housing emergencies. Mina has worked tirelessly to help those that most need it, vulnerable clients, and preventing evictions, preserving their housing subsidies and Section 8 vouchers to find shelter when needed. In 2011, Mina moved to the Passaic County Division Office in Patterson, once again working at the housing unit. Mina is a sole housing attorney for more than a year, taking on hundreds of cases requiring weekly court appearances while covering intake for new housing emergencies coming into the office. Mina took on this responsibility with a claim to reserve and got the job done. Mina's work ethic is a testament to her willingness to go the extra mile. Mina is well liked and respected by her peers and considered a valued staff member at Northeast New Jersey Legal Services. For these reasons, Mina is truly deserving of the Extra Mile Award. This year's Extra Mile Award for Norwest Cap Skylands RSVP Volunteer Center goes to the Paterson Free Public Library staff. The Paterson Free Public Library staff has been serving the Patterson community at large for 129 years. It is not just a place to check out a book, research a topic, charge your phone, or borrow a laptop. It is a trusted community resource which holds vital programming, workshops, and events which the community needs. The Paterson Free Public Library became a Norwest Cap Skylands RSVP host site during the fall of 2013. The library staff was extremely helpful to the point where Norwest Cap feels as though they have a second home, especially the collaborative efforts of Andrew Luck, affectionately known as Andy, the very helpful Kevin Mack, and Chelsea Wood, the reference librarian. Thanks to their partnership and collaboration with the Paterson Free Public Library, Norwest Cap was able to provide information to over 200 people and enroll more than half of them into the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act Health Insurance Marketplace. It is our sincere pleasure to bestow this honor on to the Paterson Free Public Library. This year's Extra Mile awardee for Oasis, a Haven for Women and Children is Jim Walsh. The mission of Oasis states, by changing the lives of women and children, Oasis is breaking the cycle of poverty through compassionate programs designed to feed, clothe, educate, and empower women and children in need. Jim Walsh truly believes this mission and is a strong advocate for all those who come through the doors. Everything Jim does embodies the mission. His kindness extends to the homeless women at the doors, to the mothers having problems at home or with her children. Jim sees the goodness in all and strives to make life better for all who come to him. Jim joined Oasis in 2001, making significant contributions towards Oasis programs and services, including implementing a weekly self-esteem workshop for women attending adult education classes. Jim has been instrumental in expanding Oasis outreach to include over 50 local agencies, as well as implementing an internship program comprised of 5 local universities. During his tenure, Oasis youth development programs have also flourished. Oasis After School program enrolls 85 children in the summer camp program, enrolls 170 children each year. Jim is a certified social worker and has received many certifications in leadership, domestic violence response, sexual assault response, faith-based counseling, and nonprofit management. Congratulations, Jim Walsh.
It is our great pleasure to announce Ms. Gwen Levine as Paterson Alliance recipient of the Extra Mile Awards. Ever since Ms. Levine took the position of St. Joseph's Hospital as Vice President of Strategic Planning in 1981, she has worked tirelessly to better our community. Ms. Levine worked with St. Joseph for 17 years, but she also faithfully and compassionately served the city of Patterson through various capacities. Her connection with Patterson dates back many years and is widespread. She has been part of Commack's Board of Trustees for 14 years. Moreover, she has served as a consultant for groups like Community Charter School of Patterson, Memorial Day Nursery, and the United Way of Passaic County. Ms. Levine is the president and founder of Patterson Youth Photography Project, a much-needed program for the youth of Patterson whose mission is to enrich the lives of school-aged children by introducing them to photography as a means of self-expression and opportunity for personal growth. Ms. Levine's contribution to PAL is priceless. Not only did Ms. Levine serve as Vice President and Secretary of Paterson Alliance between the years of 2002 and 2008, she is one of our founding members. Ms. Levine's selfless work and contributions has been acknowledged through past accolades, including Hidden Heroes Award from Andrew Goodman Foundation, Community Service Award from Commack, Leadership Award Community Service from Patterson Healthy Mothers and Healthy Babies. Now it is our turn to celebrate you, Gwen, for your dedication to Patterson. Congratulations for being the 2014 recipient of the Extra Mile Award.
This year's Extra Mile Award for the Patterson Education Fund goes to Annette Wignall. Annette Wignall has been volunteering with the Patterson Education Fund for 7 years, working at conferences and other community events. She is always available to do whatever is needed without any complaints. Last year, she joined the staff to help out when Patterson Education Fund was in critical need of someone to manage the database. Her quiet and unassuming demeanor is quite powerful. She keeps everyone on their toes and has caused them to become very mean listeners. Annette is also the Children's Church Coordinator at St. Paul's Church in Patterson. She stepped into that role to fill an urgent void and has served our children diligently for 8 years, a job that is often finds her chaperoning youth retreats and overnight camps. Annette is an avid reader and likes to go for long walks. She sings all day, every day. In addition to her work in Patterson, she has often supervised youth events sponsored by the Diocese of Newark. She is a dedicated wife and mother and enjoys spending time with her family. This year's Extra Mile Award for the Patterson Library Foundation goes to Pat Vazilic. Pat Vazilic had a long and illustrious career as head of the Children's Services at the Clifton Public Library. Then as in now, Pat has shown herself to be self-motivated and completely committed to enhancing the learning experiences for all children. Pat brings her exhaustive knowledge of children's literature and her methodical approach to program planning and dedication to any project she adopts. She currently serves as project manager for Patterson Reads Initiative. She is not only a reliable part of the team, but she goes above and beyond what is asked for. She begins planning for the next summer months ahead of time, selecting books and crafts appropriate to the theme, working on timelines and tweaking presentations. She takes extra steps and visits every site to ensure that each site runs smoothly. The summer reading program sponsored by the Public Library would not be as successful if it were not for Pat's willingness to serve as project manager, and we are all grateful for her. Congratulations, Pat Vazilic. This year's Extra Mile Award for the Patterson Public Library goes to Robert Seal. The Friends of the Patterson Library exist to support the Patterson Library either through fundraising efforts or promotion of library initiatives. Bob Seal began attending of the Friends of the Paterson Library a number of years ago. He wanted to participate in the community into which he had moved and had an interest in the history of library and the fact that it offers educational opportunities to the citizens of Patterson. After a few years, he was pressed into the position of treasurer. While this position has a fairly limited responsibility, there are the challenges of observing the legal responsibility for the organization, including several tax issues that developed. Bob continued handling all details well for a few years and then asked to be replaced as his new career responsibility was making it difficult for him to continue. For a couple of years now, he has good-naturedly continues to maintain the books and worry about financial issues while replacement is so far still being sought. This may seem like more of a passive extra mile, but it most assuredly is not. Bob takes his responsibility to the Friends seriously. He meets all the requests of him and is available whenever he is called. In addition, he executes these duties with grace and even humor, never shirking for what is asked of him. And that is why the Friends of the Paterson Library nominates him for going the extra mile. This year's Extra Mile Award for St. Luke's Community Development Center goes to Teddy and Barbara Martinez. Teddy and Barbara Martinez works as volunteer project directors for the Project Reconnect under the auspices of St. Luke's CDC. The entire Project Reconnect team is amazing under their leadership. They are always going the extra mile to help those in need of services to get the help they need, even when it means using their personal resources and making personal sacrifices. It is unimaginable that they would have free time, but when they are not busy in the community, they are busy with their family. Congratulations, Teddy and Barbara Martinez. This year's Extra Mile Award from St. Joseph Regional Medical Center goes to Dr. Jim Prudent. Dr. Jim Prudent has devoted his life to treating the critically ill, caring for people following disasters, and serving as a mentor for young people. Going the extra mile in every endeavor has been one of the guiding principles of his life. For 32 years, Dr. Prudent has cared for patients in St. Joseph's Emergency Department, one of the busiest in the country. He has also served as the chairman of emergency medicine and president of the medical staff. Besides caring for patients, he currently holds 3 hospital positions: director of emergency preparedness, emergency medical services, and telemedicine. Dr. Prudent's commitment to Patterson extends beyond the walls of St. Joseph. He is a medical director to the Passaic County Board of Health. He worked with groups of young people in Patterson to establish a safety zone around the hospital. Loved and respected by everyone at St. Joseph, Dr. Prudent is the first physician to receive the Employee of the Year award. He is also the recipient of Kendrick Lance Distinguished Physician of the Year award, as well as many other awards. Dr. Prudent and his wife, Wilma Jean, are the proud parents of 4 children and devoted grandparents of 3 grandchildren. Congratulations, Dr. Prudent. This year's Extra Mile Award for St. Paul's Community Development Center goes to Lawrence LaRocca. Lawrence LaRocca has been an employee of St. Paul's Community Development Corporation for the past 3 years, serving as the vocational instructor at Passaic Youth Build. Larry is a single father of 4 adult children and a grandfather to 4 beautiful grandchildren. After working for New York City Carpenter Union and New York City's Department of Education, he also volunteered with major tragedies including Hurricane Katrina and 9/11. He returned to the tri-state area and began his employment with Youth Build in 2010. Since joining Passaic Youth Build, Larry has trained 164 opportunity youth who dropped out of high school and were in need of a high school equivalency diploma and vocational training. Larry is a diligent worker who responds to all requests for assistance, whether it is from a coworker or a fellow nonprofit partner agency. Larry is dedicated to the mission of St. Pauls CDC and Passaic Youth Build, as evidenced by his commitment to the young people that he works with and their respect for him. St. Paul's Community Development Corporation is pleased to nominate Lawrence LaRocca for the 2014 Extra Mile Award. This year's nominee for the Extra Mile Award for United Way of Passaic County is Paula Smalling. Paula is a well-known and much-loved figure in the Patterson high schools. She goes the extra mile in helping students going off to college and their families applying for financial aid. Her and her team of volunteers make sure that students don't miss out any of the grants, institutional aids, or scholarships that they might be entitled to. Paula works directly with high school students, middle students, and adults who are going back off to college for the first time. She has assisted over 200 students so far this year in making sure that the FAFSA is completed correctly. She also has created a financial educational class tailored to her clients. This series of class leverages the expertise of a professional business network to explain credit, college, financial aid, banking, and budgeting to students. In addition, she has recruited a great group of volunteers of all varieties who enjoy working beside her. Paula is the reason that many young adults in this area are seriously considering going to college after high school. She encourages their dreams while making sure that they are making sound financial choices that will not have long-term negative financial impact. Congratulations, Paula, for this year's Extra Mile Award. This year's Extra Mile Award for the William Paterson University Center for Continuing and Professional Education goes to Tony Napolitano. Tony is responsible for organizing and tracking William Paterson University Center for Continuing and Professional Education records for contracts, letters of agreement, and other formal documents for all program managers, courses, and events. As a result of Tony's effort, timely payments of instructors, faculty, vendors, and consultants have greatly improved. In addition, Tony consistently guides and coaches the CPE staff in reviewing procurement documents, purchase orders, and monitoring state purchasing guidelines. Tony patiently assists with CPE staff in preparation of voucher payment requests, reimbursements, supply and equipment orders, and record keeping. During peak busy times before the start of fall, spring, and summer semesters, Tony will always help the staff stay on top of their planning and ordering of course materials needed for their classes and events. With the help of her dedicated behind-the-scenes support, CPE instructors and coordinators are ready, organized, and professional when they conduct their programs. Tony has served as Vice President Secretary for Hawthorne Education Foundation since 2011. She is also an active member of Don Bosco Prep High School Mothers Guild, and she also serves on her church and volunteers on weekends. Tony serves as CFO and HR Managing Partner in Napolitano's Bakery Distributors, LLC. This year's nominee for William Paterson University Small Business Development Center is Errol Bowen. Errol Bowen joined the SBDC team over 2 years ago and has provided encouraging and energetic counseling to our clients and William Paterson University students on how to run a business. He takes great pride in making sure that the people truly understand what it is he is teaching them about finances and their businesses, and he never rushes them to just complete recession. Errol is able to adapt to the management of the smallest of business startups to multi-million-dollar companies and makes everyone feel comfortable. Errol enjoys cycling, golf, soccer, traveling, and listening to music. He volunteers at a Patterson after-school center and offers volunteer accounting services to various faith-based organizations.
This year's Extra Mile Award for Women and Family Ascending Association, Wafaa, goes to Mrs. Warood Rashid. Mrs. Warood Rashid has been participating and dedicating her time to the organization for a while now. Not only does Warood distribute her time and effort, but she has influenced others to participate in donating to the organization as well. Warood and her family has played an integral role for the advancement of Wafaa. She works as a mathematics teacher and a mother of 3. Despite her many roles, she is always at every event and meeting. It is clear that Warood is a caring and hard-working individual, considering she is constantly shifting from mother to teacher to the duty of a volunteer. Warood sacrifices every bit of her time and powers to benefit others. Her hobbies seem to shape her identity as well, considering she has time to volunteer. Her interests as well seem to identify to the type of person that she is. Warood interest deals with human rights issues and poverty. We congratulate you, Ms. Warood Rashid, for this year's Extra Mile Award.